Scream was a Wes Craven slasher film that revitalized the subgenre in the 90s and arguably put horror back on the map for what some may consider the worst decade for horror of all time. While the film itself is great, there's a lot that went on behind the scenes that you may not know about. That being said, let's take a look at some things you may have not known about Scream. Did you hear that? Number 1. This hilarious line near the end of the film.
Did you really call the police?
You bet your sorry ass I did.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Wasn't part of the script and wasn't ever supposed to be in the film. Matthew Lillard improvised the line, and Wes Craven thought it was so funny and appropriate that he kept it in the movie. Number 2. In similar fashion, when Skeet Ulrich gets pissed and accidentally hits Matthew Lillard's character with the phone near the end of the film.
Yes, mama's boy.
Fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
This scene was never meant to be in the film either. The phone slipped and hit Matthew Lillard on the head on accident. Craven decided to keep this scene in the film because of Lillard's realistic reaction. The popularity of caller IDs increased threefold after Scream was released. It's not hard to imagine why. Throughout the franchise, we watch as Courtney Cox and David Arquette's characters begin to fall in love. A real-life romance blossomed between the two, and they ended up getting married in real life. However, they did get a divorce in 2013. Number 5. Getting an R rating rather than an NC-17 rating was a hard-fought battle. As a matter of fact, the movie was sent to the MPAA 9 times for reconsideration. Eventually, executive producer and Hollywood honcho Bob Weinstein talked with the MPAA himself and told them to view the film as if it were a comedy rather than a horror film. This change in perspective allowed the film to pass with an R rating. Number 6. Originally, Ghostface's costume was going to be white rather than black, so the character would look more like a ghost. This would be changed due to fear that some people may think it looked too similar to the KKK's attire. Number 7. Scream was originally going to be titled Scary Movie. Of course, a film would come out shortly thereafter which parodied Scream and other teen slasher flicks with that title. But I'll bet you didn't know that there was also a lesser-known, more serious horror film with the Scary Movie title that was made 5 years prior to Scream. Number 8. The phone in the opening scenes featuring Drew Barrymore was a legitimate, functional phone. Unfortunately, one of the crew forgot to unplug the phone line when she dialed 911 in the film. This resulted in 911 receiving a real call from a screaming Drew Barrymore. Number 9. Writer Kevin Williamson loved Molly Ringwald so much that he originally offered her the role of Sidney Prescott. Ringwald turned it down, saying that she felt she were too old to play a high school student. She was 27 at the time. Number 10. Even though Molly Ringwald passed on the role, there were a lot of other hopefuls that tried out for the part. These include Melissa Joan Hart, Brittany Murphy, Alicia Witt, Melanie Linsky, and Melinda Clark. However, Craven had seen Neve Campbell in Party of Five and thought that she could pull off the innocent look he wanted, but could also handle all of the physical conflict and emotions that were required for the role. He asked her to audition for the part, and the rest is history. So, that's it for our list of things you probably never knew about Scream. Do you know some interesting facts we should have included about the film? Did any of these blow your mind? Let us know by leaving a comment below. Also, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go.